I rode barebacks for 24 years. And in the mid-30s, I started thinking about, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you can't get on them no more? Just throw your hat in the closet and say you used to be a cowboy? I mean, that was what I was thinking. What do I do? So I started producing my own rodeos. And I've always said, southeastern Oklahoma, that area where I grew up in, if you look at the history of the rodeo cowboys and cowgirls from that whole area, there's been a lots of talent. World champions. They know how to ride. They know how to rope. They know how to run.
This is Beyond the Chutes as presented by Parasite System. If you listen to part one, you heard how Wes Ward learned how to win. From Jack Wiseman, from Lane Frost, and from being around the right people at the right time. In this second part of our conversation, we go deeper into what happens after the rides, when the road changes, when the body changes, and when a cowboy has to decide what comes next. Now, we recorded this during our Texas Swing 2025. It was recorded inside the BTC Bus. We were at a Chute 2 Productions bull riding, and what a blast we had that day. I think you're going to enjoy this second episode with Wes Ward.
And then you said, I'm heading west.
That ain't, I'd already been to IFR the year before. I wanted to go to the PRCA because I think I'm really ready. So, after July, I turned my card in. I already had IFR 14 qualified for it.
Yeah.
And got my permit back, filled it, and then was a rookie the next year in the PRCA. But Clint, Corey, and let me tell you something. He's one of the best bareback riders that's ever come through the IPRA and the PRCA.
Right.
His record, his titles, qualifications, they speak for themselves.
I was going to say, he couldn't have been too much behind you in going to the PRCA then.
No, what Clint done was he went ahead and won the world,
Yeah.
went to the IFR.
Yeah.
The one IFR 14 that I turned down.
Yeah.
And got his card or permit the next spring.
Okay.
And was out on the West
Okay.
Coast and
Okay.
filled his permit right quick.
Okay.
Then bought his card, and we're both rookies at the same time.
Yeah.
But neither one of us won the rookie deal. Marvin Garrett was the rookie of the year in the PRCA.
Okay.
It's tough. I should have, once again,
Yeah.
I should have stayed another year.
Because you come in mid-season into the PRCA.
Well, no, it was
In July.
well, I got my permit, but I bought my card for the next year.
For the next year.
Well,
okay.
See, Clint bought his permit and filled it, and then turned right around and bought his card. And see, there's guys right now that are winning a lot of money on their permits.
Okay.
And that's I needed better counseling. But
Do it again. You would have
Yeah.
hung out and finished up that year at least.
Yeah, I wasn't nobody gonna beat Clint anyway, but I could have probably ended up second. I was set number 2.
Yeah.
But so I turned my card in to be able to get my permit back.
Yeah.
And
So did that jumping in with him and that whole crew you talked about, that another step up in your game?
yeah, it did. It did. Those guys were all from the West Coast, and they were bareback riders.
And they come east because of Longhorn.
Yes. Well, back then, in the early '80s and stuff, you had the Longhorns, you had the world's toughest, and then Bobby Rowe would have some rodeos, and then I can't think the guy. I mean, you could rodeo in the wintertime and go to 2 or 3 good rodeos, building rodeos.
A week.
Yeah. The IPRA was good back then.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
But you said
Lone Star rodeos.
Okay.
I mean, they were all good building rodeos.
Okay.
I mean, and I've jumped in with Rob McDonald, and all them guys, and
Now
know.
in the PRCA?
No,
No.
well,
That's
yeah, in the IPRA. But then Rob, he goes to the PRCA,
Oh,
so
you
I
did?
catch some rides with him.
Oh, you did. Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
I've
know
caught.
that.
You know, but you know, Benny Jordan and all them guys, they were my heroes too. Whenever I first was a kid out of high school, I mean, I got to, you know. So I was in the IPRA in the beginning for a year and a half, and then at the backside of my career, I qualified again for IFR 28.
So after you came back, all right. So your book ended it with the IPRA, but let's go PRCA. You're out there, you fill your permit, you buy your card the next year, you run at them pretty hard,
Yeah, yeah.
and almost win Rookie of the Year.
Well, you know, I was in the hunt, but what happened was, a friend of mine named Randy Taylor from Inola, Oklahoma. He's a Cherokee cowboy, bareback rider. Randy was actually the very first bareback rider out of the bucket chutes when the NFR moved from Oklahoma City to Las Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, back then, I carried a rigging bag and a clothes bag, and I'd catch rides with everywhere. I wouldn't advise doing that now, because you may get stranded somewhere.
Okay.
It's a little different deal, I hear. But Randy and I, it was in the fall, I'm going to say September, October, early October. We're entered in a rodeo somewhere in Tennessee. It's on a Sunday afternoon. We'd been driving all night, and we pull in there. Randy goes, let's go out here to the arena and see if I can find somebody that's got a motel room. So he runs into a clown named Gary Parley from up around Ponca City, Paul. Gary Parley is an old NFR barrel man. Well, while we're in there in the room, Randy and Gary are talking about his rodeo team. That he's a rodeo coach at Labatt Community College, and he's got a good rodeo team. And I had always kind of wanted to go live the old college life, I said, well, what would you give a guy to ride bulls and barebacks for you? I give you books, tuition, room, and board. I said, all right, I'll be over there Monday to enroll, but I can't come to school because I'm entered in rodeo. So I go over there and go to college 1 year and end up winning the all-around in the Central Plains region.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we end up second in the region of bareback riding. My teammate, Ron Gilbert, won the bareback riding, but I did win the all-around.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that all-around title was something I'm proud of, but it was something that I didn't even have my sights on.
Yeah.
Because the way the collegiate deal,
yeah,
I don't know if they still do it like that, but you only get all-around points if you place in 2 events at that rodeo.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
That's the only way you get all-around
points.
points.
I did not know that.
You got to place, and they come up to me at the very last rodeo of the season, college rodeo, said, did you know you're winning the all-around? I said, what? You got to be kidding me. No, you're winning the all-around. So I just went ahead and asked that last one, made sure it was, but I got a big nice plaque. I'm proud of it.
Cow. So a couple things. Did you qualify for the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Finals then?
I did.
And?
Yep.
Where was that?
That was in Bozeman, Montana.
Okay.
Yep, I went up there. I didn't. Well, I was in it in the bull riding too.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
You qualified in both things?
Yeah,
both
well,
events.
all around you can enter.
Okay.
Enter the finals in whatever events you.
So you went bulls and you went barebacks?
Went in the bulls and bareback.
Okay.
Had an NFR bull, turned back right away from my hand, right there in the gate. All I had to do was make one little move.
Yeah.
And I probably went a big go round up there.
That's all you had to do.
Yeah, I didn't draw very good in the bareback riding, but got bucked up.
So you rode the bull?
No, I got close. I got close, you know. But they don't pay for 6 seconds ride.
They don't?
No.
No points?
But I didn't. But speaking of Lane Frost, he wasn't even going to school, but his girlfriend her wife, Kelly,
Kelly.
they weren't married then, but
Yeah.
she was going to school. And Tough, he made the finals. So Lane was up there just to be with us.
Okay. I was going to ask, who were you riding with? You know, future greats. Who were you riding with at that event?
You know, there's a boy named Stanley Ross. He's a pig farmer.
Pig farmer.
Pig farmer
Okay.
from Pittsburgh, Kansas. And he's a good friend of mine. But that sucker could ride bulls. He wanted to go around. He wanted to go around up there. We had Irvin Williams,
Bull rider.
bull rider,
Yeah.
bareback rider,
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
He was part of the team. Lewis Barnes, who was a PRCA bull rider, 2-time Kansas State bull riding champion. We had Tyler Magnus, a team roper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hank Heinsinger,
Okay.
calf roper.
Yeah.
We ended up second in the region. Well, Ron Gilbert, Scott Gilbert's younger brother Ron. We had a hell of a team. And we ended up second in the region. And that's the only time, it's the only year that college ever took a rodeo team to the finals.
So 1 year of college.
1 year of college.
Okay, so we're talking these steps. So you're jumping in with the right people, Jack Wiseman and then Clint Corey.
Yep.
And it sounds like every time you did that, you're picking up just a little bit more, a little bit sharper.
Yeah, I felt
And
like
college did what?
well, I just went to rodeo, which was stupid.
Yeah?
Because
You didn't go to class?
No.
No.
No, and if I wasn't there, Irvin Williams didn't go to class either. But I mean,
Not a class?
I went. I mean, I'd go to
Could
class
you name
at
one?
times.
Could you name one
Well,
class?
it was all about ranch management.
Ranch management.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ranch management, but
Yeah.
we had a heck of a team.
Yeah.
And there's another thing. I had the opportunity to do something, and I didn't take advantage of it. I got a plaque.
Yeah.
You know, I could have got a better education out of it if I'd have.
Do it again.
Well, when you get older, like me, I hated school. The only reason I stayed in school is because of the rodeo. I never studied.
Yeah.
High school or nothing.
Yeah.
Never studied.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not dumb by any means, but
Yeah.
I'm not very well educated.
Okay.
Now, a few years ago, I went to Bible college. I did apply,
Yeah.
and
You applied your.
I applied myself.
yourself.
I did. I
Okay.
tried.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 years of Mark Barclay's SMTI Bible College.
Okay.
It was for 9 months,
Yeah.
every Monday night, and I actually applied myself.
You
And
worked.
I've got a diploma from Ministry of, the first year's called Ministry of Helps, and then the second year that I went was called Ministerial Practicalities.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
learn how to do funerals and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And I've done.
So you applied yourself. So you got a diploma.
I did. I can.
Did they have a rodeo team?
No. But it was a video Bible college.
Okay. Online.
Mark Barclay Ministries is my pastor's pastor.
I see.
They're
I see.
out of Midland, Michigan.
Oh, sure.
yep.
Sure.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
And Barclay is a pastor, 2 pastors.
I see.
He's ex-military. He's powerful.
Okay.
And there's only about 30 or 40. There's a bunch under him.
Yeah.
There's 30 or 40 that's active.
Okay.
You know, they go to all the meetings and stuff that Bart,
Yeah.
that they have.
Yeah.
My pastor's one of them.
Yeah. So you are an ordained minister.
I'm not ordained.
You're not.
No, but I do travel and teach
Yeah.
when the Lord
Yeah.
sends me.
Oh, for
I
sure.
am still. I'm working on the relationship and the obedience.
Okay.
I can preach with the best of them, but if you can't live what you preach,
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
I'm under construction.
There you go. I like that. You put
Work
that
in
on your
progress.
shirt.
Yeah, under construction.
Slippery when wet.
But I love the Lord.
Yeah.
And, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
a whole nother podcast.
For sure it is. We should do it.
Yeah.
So you say thanks for the college experience.
Well, what happened was something happened in mid-season, and they got rid of my coach.
Oh.
And had an interim coach.
Oh.
And I call him Coach Parlay to this day. You know, he's the one that recruited all of us.
Yeah.
And Gary Parlay has been around a long time in the PRCA, and you know, has worked at NFR as a barrelman. I mean, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
My coach wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I got what I
got
what I wanted.
And we haven't talked a lot about the college experience. So you've got a coach. I mean, you have practice. He's working with you. He's working on skills with you.
Here's the thing about it. I'd already been out of high school like 3 years.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
But I had never college rodeoed before.
Yeah.
And I would highly advise young talent, when you get out of high school, go to college. Because if you're get in the routine of studying and then you get out of it, it's hard to really get back in. For me, I felt like that I was going back to high school rodeos because I'd been the IPRA, now I'm a rookie in the PRCA, and now I'm going to go to college.
Yeah.
You know, but I stuck it out and finished. And,
yeah.
And
yeah. Excellent.
You know, we got to go to the finals, and it was an experience.
Oh my goodness.
It was, you know, I could probably done better if I'd have stayed and win another year, but I just kind of felt like I was regressing as far as my riding, my bareback riding was going, you know.
It wasn't, you weren't picking up more?
Well, it's, you know, you got the PRCA, and then you got high school. It was a level that I felt like I'd already passed.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. That I had, because Lane Frost's dad, he was a NFR bareback rider and bronc rider.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was one of my mentors in my early days.
He was. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he kept telling me that, you know, you set your goal, like climb a mountain. When you get that mountain climb, you find you another mountain. And, you know, basically what he would tell me was, when you get to winning in one area, then you go somewhere else.
I see.
Because you're only as good as your competition.
Yeah.
And so that's what I kept trying to do, was better my competition, where I could keep pressing in, keep challenging myself. Because, I mean, I was living my dream. I never qualified for the NFR. I got close several times. You know, I was in the top 20, top 30. But, you know, it's one of them deals.
Yeah. So you wrap up your college career, and who do you jump with? What's your next truck? Who you hauling with?
Well, I hooked up with Chuck Lowe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, back then, you rodeoed big cars. We had big trunks.
Okay.
And,
not pickups.
Well, yeah, pickups and campers too, but a lot of the guys had big cars too. So I rodeoed with Chuck Lowe. You know, the Lowe boys, they were, Chuck and Bob, they're about a year and a half older than I am, 2 years older. But man, I mean, they were a force to reckon with in the PRCA.
And where'd you meet them?
Well, when I come to Texas, there was a guy here today at the bull riding that gave me my first fencing job here in Texas. He was here today. And by me moving down here in this area, see, Chuck used to live over here at Lavon, Lake Lavon.
Okay.
And I hooked up with him. I've always been told that, hey, you're only as good as your competition. And, you know, so I wanted to rodeo with the best I could. But I learned that sometimes I couldn't. I'd be with Chuck for a while. Sometimes I would have to part ways, because he was going to bigger rodeos, and I was married, standing in the circuit, you know.
Oh, you're married at this point.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
are fixing to get married.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly, but I've always worked, had a fencing and welding business, worked, and then rodeo. Don't we?
Even then.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, if you get broke, you got to work.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'd always been told that you better have, you better have you a date. You better have you something to fall
Yeah.
back on.
Yeah.
So I had met my son's mother through relationship with Chuck Logue and all that.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I did get married a few years later, I didn't rodeo as hard as far as going to all the big ones. I stayed home, run my business, and let the rodeos come to me. And my cousin Little John, who I started out, he always told me, he said, don't bypass Mesquite. So I could work on the weekends, all week, and I could go to Mesquite, and I won there a lot. I mean, it was like making a truck payment.
And Mesquite, we're sitting in Wiley, Texas. Yep. Mesquite's what, a half hour south?
Yeah, it ain't even that far.
It ain't that far. Okay.
So I was.
And on the road there was a sign, the Mesquite Arena.
Yep.
Is that the arena?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I was runner up 2 or 3 times for the Mesquite season champion, but I finally won it. I think 92 or something like that. I don't know for sure. I like the buckle. It's got the Mesquite logo on it and everything. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So I was a Mesquite season champ. See, back then, this is where rodeos kind of messed up, I thought, because there wasn't a whole lot of rodeos that was televised.
Right. Right.
But the Twister games was on ESPN, I think. What
it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Tulsa Twister games was.
Yeah.
And Mesquite Rodeo
yeah.
was televised.
Yeah.
That was about it. So I was on, the Twisters, and I think it was 82.
Yeah. And Mike Fletcher would have been on that team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fletcher and I was teammates.
Okay.
Yeah. See, Fletcher was a veteran, and I was a kid.
And you were working both events, bull riding and
no,
just bareback.
No, let me tell you something. After I got out of college,
yeah,
I made a commitment to my coach.
Yeah.
That I would ride barebacks and bulls. That's how I won the all around. But I hadn't been on no bulls probably 3 years prior to that. Because once I started winning in the barebacks, I kind of got away from the bulls.
Yeah.
Because I was winning, and I didn't want to take a risk of getting hurt.
Okay.
And all that. But I just focused on bareback riding.
Okay.
But I went to Mesquite a lot, and so that was. So then I put myself a crew together, and I learned that you got the 4-man buddy system, but in order to get traded like you want, it seemed to work better if you only entered 2 or if you entered 4.
I see.
The odd deal 1 or 3 didn't seem to work too good.
Okay.
Didn't seem like you get the performance you wanted.
When you were entering rodeos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a guy there at Mesquite named John Brockway, big, tall, lanky bareback rider, I called him Big Tex. Chris Gay, a guy named Jim Richards, who's from South Texas. I had an old car, and we went to a lot of rodeos for several years with my own crew. And then I'd hook up with Chuck and Sean Fry and Chuck Simonson, and I went to a lot of rodeos. And I've rodeoed, never been a world champion, but I've rodeoed with Chuck Logue, who's a world champion, Bruce Ford. He's both of them Hall of Fame guys.
Absolutely.
So I've run with them.
Yeah.
Run with them.
Yeah.
So I feel like very fortunate. There's some things. Well, one of the things, I think I always rode barebacks with the wrong hand.
Really?
I do.
Because I see the scar on your left arm. That was your free hand. So you rode right-handed?
Well, I rode barebacks right because that's the rigging that I first started out in that Billy Downard had was a right-handed rigging. I never had. Now here's the thing about it is, my daddy always told me, and some people believe this theory, some people don't, that whatever hand that you write with, like your dominant hand, that's the hand you want in the air to control your balance.
I've heard that. Yep.
So I rode bulls left-handed. Then I broke my left wrist one time and started riding bulls right-handed, but I couldn't ride as good as with my left. We had this big old steer that was a team roping steer at one time. And we started bucking him, and he had a corner right around the end of the gate. And how we knew that he'd buck a little bit, we had like an all-girl rodeo, and we buck him out a few times and sucker bucked. So I started getting on him. And my left wrist was broke, and I was getting on him right-handed, and he'd turn back right around the end of the gate to the right into my hand, but I just could not get around the corner. And I was so frustrated and wanted to ride him so bad, I'd go out there and get on him by myself.
Yeah.
I'd run that sucker in there, I'd flank him and pull my own rope and kick the gate open, and he'd buck my ass off right there. Same spot every time.
Yeah.
But you know, after my left hand got well, I got on him left-handed and rode that sucker like patting for a dance. He was going away from my hand this time, but I packed him around the corner. He made 2 rounds and jumped out of it, jumped and kicked, you know. But one time there, we come by the ranch, and I run some horses in there, and I borrowed Clint Corey's rigging.
Left-handed?
Left-handed. Got on 2 horses. And I'm telling you, my body control was great. I mean, I was seeing everything a lot better, but it don't feel like I have any power in my legs. But that would have come. But see, I broke the left wrist, broke my left elbow, and if I'd have had a left-handed rigging, I really believe that I could have won a lot more.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
All I know is I could not ride bulls right-handed, but I could left.
Okay.
So that's the reason I say that. So whenever I do schools, and I've done a few, that's the first thing that I do. I get a kid on the spur board, and I find out what hand he needs to be riding with. That's
You
very
can
first.
tell by his form. How do you tell?
Yeah, well, you can just tell by the way, you know, one way it looks like it's struggling and it's straining. The next way it's more natural.
Okay.
You know, so that's the reason I tell them youngsters, go slow. I mean, a lot of the rodeo schools, here's how they do it. They have a 3-day school, have groundwork for 2 days. Well, the 3rd day, they're going to start putting them on coats or whatever. They ain't ready for that. I can take a kid and work with him 2 or 3 days. He ain't ready to get on nothing that bucks. Put him on that saddle horse and stuff. They're going to get more out of that. But a lot of times they want to buck their coats and thinking that's it, you know. But it ain't producing riders.
Okay.
I think the bareback riding and the bronc riding takes a little time, and it's baby steps.
Yeah.
Because what you got to do is, probably the same for bull riding too, but you got to build confidence.
Yeah.
And it all gets to happening real fast. Some of them kids might spend $500-600, go to a school and get slammed. Like, you know what? I don't want no part of this.
Yeah.
But if they took it a little bit easier and not so rushed so fast.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't even, and I was in part of a Bible school clinic deal this back in June, and I don't care about getting them on. I mean, if they want to get on, yeah, you can get on, but I don't think you're going to, if you're just now learning, you're not ready.
Yeah. Are you working with anybody on a regular basis these days? Any guys you're bringing along?
You know, the last school we had there at the ranch, there was 2 young boys named Matlocks. They were young.
And these kids are what? How old?
Well, they're, graduated high school,
Oh, okay.
college
Okay,
now.
okay.
But I mean, Colton he's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's one of them deals that usually the ones that you think are really going to blow it out of the water don't do it.
No.
The guys that come along at a slower pace make progress. And, Colton, he's a one state high school champion and all. I mean, they come to my deal and it's where they got their basics set.
Yeah.
I love, but that's what our family, we love seeing those young ones turn into something.
Yeah.
We're proud of Jaco Roper. He used to be the star.
Yeah.
Because Jaco, I still got it in my laptop. After he'd ride, I'd say, keep your eyes on Jaco now. Watch him. He'd either go to the fence or off the back of a pickup horse, do a backflip, and I'd stick it every time.
Really?
He's a kid that always had tremendous balance.
Yeah.
You see a lot of them kids getting on them Shetland stuff, they all over more. Jaco always sat right in the middle of them. And Justin McDaniel, he's a PRCA world champion. Started there in the OJRA. And of course, the McCoys, they were little bitty kids whenever Denny started bringing them out.
And they come through your dad's
Yeah.
association?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a few more PBR bull riders and stuff. I mean, and there's been hundreds of kids come through there. And it was a great opportunity. And I think it kept a lot of them kids out of trouble.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a purpose.
Yeah.
They have to have something that they look forward to, something they want to do. If they're not winning in rodeo, then who knows what they're going to end up being.
Right. So I'm asking these bareback riders I get on here, retired bareback riders like yourself, the new riggings. Man, they're sitting up high.
Yeah, and I'm only 5'4". You would think that would be ideal for me, but they started coming out with them at the backside of my career.
They did.
I bought one of them. I didn't like it. And the reason, you have to ride them different. From see, I rode with Peter John Hennessy, and then I got Barstow PR12 is what they called it. It's a good rigging, that PR12. But now they got the high lift and, both bars under and all that. I bought one, but I just couldn't. It felt weird to me. It felt like I was 6 inches off of their back because I'd be trying to get up underneath my rigging underneath my hand before I left there. And it was just more like I was trying to ride the rigging instead of the horse. And let me tell you, I took some yankings. So they've got a little different deal how they ride them.
So what's changed as you break this down?
They're all wearing an elbow brace now that costs $1,000, I hear. And
that keeps it from extending?
Yeah.
Hyperextending?
Yeah, hyperextending and stuff. And, I really don't know. I would think that it would be ideal for me, but it was just, I didn't like it at all. And I got on 4 or 5 with it, and I sold it. Somebody got rid of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it allow you to get higher in the neck?
Well, no. It's like I would be, used to getting underneath my hand and keeping my feet high and stuff. But this felt like I was that high off their back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It just felt like there's a lot of air in there.
I see.
And it would have probably been all right, but I was going to have to learn how to readjust and ride it.
Yeah.
The best rigging I ever used was that G-bar G with the laid over handle, had the deep D's, but the PRCA, they made those they outlawed those deep D rings, which really don't make a lot of sense because they didn't hurt the horses like. I think these riggings could be possibly worse than those riggings were.
And the deep D allowed the rigging to go further up the withers?
You know, I think it give it more give.
Oh, okay.
You know, between the rigging and the latigos, and I mean, a lot of the riggings nowadays, they got that peak in them and everything. And I mean, these horses that they're raising, I mean, the Born to Buck breeding program is, you know, I mean, it's done great.
Equipment's got to evolve to keep up with them?
Yeah. But I mean, those horses that, you know, they have big white, I mean, they're fed well. They're our extended family.
Right.
You know, I tell everybody, or the fans, you may like them, but we love them.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're family. So, but I mean, you know, I can't say nothing. The guys that are going right now, there is some talented, very talented.
You bet.
Bareback riders and bronc riders.
You bet.
I don't pay much attention to bull riding anymore, but I mean, I like the horse still right. Watch horses buck and guys ride. But there is some talent. I mean, they're very good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good back in my day, but they just evolved. You know?
And as they are evolving, the talent was there then? Could it have evolved? I mean, could the guys you were riding with then do what these guys are doing today?
Let me tell you what I know.
Yeah.
And this is fact, and
Yeah.
I like facts.
Yeah.
Rocker Steiner, now all the Steiners, they're freaking athletes.
Yes.
They're winners.
Yes.
They're champions.
Yes.
But they didn't let him go to rodeos.
Yeah.
He was getting on horses at home,
Yeah.
but he's getting on horses.
No high school, none of that stuff.
But they put him on what they wanted him to get on, something that he could learn on. There is some outstanding horses.
Yeah.
Now, see, back when I rodeoed, there was a bunch of hard to ride, yanking pieces of,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
them horses ain't around no more.
Yeah.
If you ain't got them ones that stack up, I mean, there is great bareback riders, but there's some outstanding horses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back in my day, you might go a month before you draw that good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they could outdraw you for a long time.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just more of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The odds of drawing something that you can win on are a whole lot better now than they were back in those days.
Simply more. Yeah. So the second question. I watched Calgary this year and bareback riding, bronc riding, no markout rule anymore. No disqualification. IPRA's made that move this year as well. 2025, no markout rule. What's your thoughts?
Well, here's my take on it.
Yeah.
Markout rule costed me lots of money because I'm short-legged. If I hit them early, they're going to bounce. I had to do it all in timing. It was the hardest part about riding barebacks for me. I've been flagged for a lot of money. I know I've been flagged for enough money to qualify for the NFR. And that was a goal that I never actually got to achieve. It was a sad day whenever I finally realized that, hey, I got to give up on this dream because I'm not making a living. You know, I got to do something different. And that's whenever I started running my welding business and letting the rodeos come to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And took that pressure off of having to win. And I started seeing more out of rodeo then. But I've always said that's the problem with the PRCA is there's too many good cowboys that have to go home because they run at it, they got broke, and you have to go home.
You bet.
You bet. And that's why the PRCA, you know, I know the people that fought that right to work law and won.
Yeah.
Got it changed for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, if you're a elite bareback rider or elite talent in whatever event, you're going to go where the money's at anyway.
Yeah.
But like me, if I got low on money, I've done it before. I go to some amateur rodeos where you ain't got to beat top 15 in the world.
To make some money.
Yeah.
Because you got to have money go down the road.
Well, the PRCA at one time had back when everybody was going, they were going to classify the rodeos as A,
Yeah.
B, and C.
Yeah.
And the A rodeo is only the top 15 guys, and they were talking about having a rotation system like the PBR does. And, I was chomping at the bit. And I know it would work because Fort Madison, Iowa, it's been two-head forever, always. One year, they had one of the pro tours going on during Fort Madison. And Fort Madison, like 6-7 performances, kind of a long deal. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to Fort Madison. I'm an internet sucker. I don't care if I got to get on one every day. 42 bareback riders, one head. Everybody else had the same thinking that I had. The top 15 ain't gonna be there. Well, I'm gonna be one of the top guys of the next tier.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to butt heads with them. I'll show you how to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, here I am. I was wanting it to pass. But time eventers, steer wrestlers shot it down. And I see their side of it too. They like to go to those big rodeos and have slack. What it does, what they're doing is they're having like 2 or 3 go-arounds, and some of them might be in the slack.
Yeah.
But it gives them more opportunities of that money to win at.
Sure.
But from my standpoint, let them. I mean, you got your elite talent.
Yeah.
And they were gonna. Well, the PRCA, in my opinion, everybody's entitled to their own, made a mistake. My Uncle J.O. was raised in a little place called Boynton, Oklahoma, which is not very far from Henrietta. Well, my Uncle J.O. and Jim Shoulders, they knew each other. They were friends.
Yeah.
And my Uncle J.O. told me that Jim Shoulders was on the board of directors of the PRCA for a little while. And he tried to tell the PRCA that we need to have a major league and a minor league. And he was trying to get that pushed through to the PRCA. And my Uncle J.O. said if they'd have done it, there never would have been no IPRA.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
There never would have been an IPRA.
Yeah.
And just think about it, the PRCA they could have capitalized PBR. It showed us that it'll work.
Oh yeah, the tiers.
The tiers,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
They have showed us that it would work.
Yeah.
And but that was my Uncle J.O. was one of the ones that helped get the IPRA started.
Yeah.
And it was because of that. Him and Ben Jordan, Ben was a hell of a cowboy.
Yeah.
They'd go to the PRCA rodeos and they'd get broke, have to come home.
Yeah.
But with the rule, the PRCA had, if you go to their rodeos, you can't go to any other rodeos.
Yeah.
So what's the guy do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the reason they started the IPRA.
Yeah.
And just think about if the PRCA would have done that, it could have all been under.
Well, and I've heard this theory too. As a matter of fact, I heard it yesterday. What if instead of fighting each other, they would have formed up like the AFC and the NFC of the NFL? You got two separate leagues that were happening. And they said, let's go have a Super Bowl and let's see which is the best league.
Well, there's always been good talent in the IPRA. There's just a lot more of it in the PRCA.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a guy like Dan Daly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hell of a cowboy.
Yeah.
But, he go to the PRCA and win.
Yeah.
But he's going to be more consistent in the IPRA.
And work all the events.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hard to do in the PRCA. Yeah.
It is. It's real hard to do.
Yeah. So a fan of the mark out rule going away?
The mark out rule, back to that. I don't, personally, I hated it because
Yeah.
it was hard for me to do.
Yeah.
And it is a person's opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen it to where it might just bobble a little bit. They
Yeah.
throw the flag.
Yeah.
It's up to the judge's opinion.
Sure.
I've seen guys miss horses out that I thought by a mile that didn't get flagged.
Yeah.
So it's in the hands of humans.
Yeah.
And man, I tell you, one year I went to Denver and they was flagging everybody. Poof, poof. I got 2 of them marked out. Didn't win nothing, but I was tickled to death because that was the hardest thing for me.
I see.
I mean, I got flagged a lot of times that I thought I was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will say this.
Yeah.
From a bucking horse rider standpoint,
Yeah.
you can build your ride by making a strong spur out.
Sure. Sure.
So I think it's better that you try to.
They're still going to teach it, right?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, you're going to teach it in your schools. Whether
Exactly.
that's-
I'm going to teach it, but I don't want to. If it's thrown out, there's no reason a guy should start in the belly.
Right. Right.
Right. And the reason of it is because it's going to be hard to get in the time with that horse. While you're out in the arena.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a game of inches.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be whether your toes turned up, or it's just a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
And we can all read the same. It's kind of like reading the Bible. We can all read the same passage of scriptures, but we might get different definitions.
Definitely going to do it, right?
But it's a matter of a person's opinion.
Yeah.
Now the barrier
Yeah.
is
Black and
similar. Is very similar, but it's black and white. Either
Yeah.
it did or it didn't.
Right.
But you go into a person's opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I had a deal happen to me at one of the Longhorn rodeos one time, and I don't want to get off into it and call no names or whatever, but the horse kind of hesitated, and I heard the judge say, "Go ahead." I thought I got a free roll.
Yeah.
I mean, sucker come around and bucked one of Wendell's horses, and it was good, and I made a good ride. I'm gonna win the rodeo. They got me at the gate. I said, "Well, I heard you holler, go ahead." He said, "Well, I was just letting you know you had him marked out on my side," and I thought that he should have overruled that other judge.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but hey,
Yeah.
that's a long time ago. The judging system as you learn.
Has
That's how we
evolved,
grow.
yeah.
We learn from our mistakes.
Sure.
And we get better. And every time. I mean, look at the NFL and stuff. I mean, they're having meetings all the time about the referee
Yeah, bet.
and stuff and
You
that,
bet.
right? So, it's just that's part of the game.
So part of the game, part of things getting better. The money now in rodeo finally getting to the levels we should have seen years ago, right? And the American. What are you thinking?
Well, the American, that's something that I hope I can get a ticket to every year from my standpoint. But I think it's a great thing. I know that you pay an entry fee, go to a qualifier. If you qualify, great. But if you don't, you can pay back into it, enter back up. Who come up with all that? They they're pretty good, pretty sharp.
Yeah.
I've been to it several times. I was there when Richie Champion won the $1 million. I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know him very well, but every time I see him, hey, Richie Rich, how you doing? It's life changing. It can change someone's life.
Yeah.
When I had success at certain events or finals, you might change your life for a few weeks or a month. But I mean, these guys, like if you win the American, you can go buy you a ranch, pay it off.
Right.
It's life changing.
Yeah.
And Ty Murray, Larry Mahan, give him some advice about sponsorship. And I heard Ty say that Larry told him, everybody's gonna be throwing a lot of little deals at you, but if it can't change your life, then don't worry about it.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna go to a lot of people wanting to sponsor you because of who you are, but if it ain't life changing, then it's probably,
Yeah. Yeah.
it might be more of a headache than
Yeah.
it is. So,
Yeah.
but I like the team PBR.
You do.
I do.
Okay.
I like the team PBR.
Okay.
And
why?
the reason why is back whenever I was on the Tulsa Twisters,
Yeah.
that was a great concept. Okay, I'm on TV there, then I'm on TV at Mesquite, and me and Marvin Garrett one year at Sykeston, Missouri, were visiting. Here Marvin is current world champion, 3-time world champion. We're just talking, and some kids walked up and tapped me on the shoulder and wanted my autograph. They didn't even know who he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I said right there, there's something wrong
Yep.
with
Yep.
rodeo.
Yep.
You got a freaking Marvin is a Hall of Fame world champion,
Oh yeah.
but these kids didn't know who he was because there wasn't nothing on
You
TV.
see him once a year on
Yeah.
on the NFL,
Yeah.
if that, or I'm sorry, the NFR, if that.
So,
right?
but the team PBR has been it's an avenue. It generates new revenue.
And the PBR has been brilliant about it to the point you just made.
Yeah.
You're only going to be at one bull riding every weekend, and guess what? You're going to be in front of the press, and they're going to get to know you.
Yes.
And where in your day,
Yeah.
you pop in 1 of 7 rounds, you pop in and pop out. How are they going to get to know you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had people come, from all over that. I mean, not all the time, but
Yeah.
they would see me at Mesquite
Oh yeah.
and come up and want their picture with
You're
me
a
and
star,
stuff,
dude.
Yeah, and then bring me gifts and stuff too.
Yeah.
I had a guy that made me a belt
He did.
and put Wild West on the back of it.
Did he? Okay.
And I still wear it to work today.
So kind
Yeah.
of sponsorship back in the day.
I mean, it was just, it was, people want to follow. In order to create a fan base, they got to be able to follow it.
Got to be able to follow.
And that's the team PBR,
Yeah.
okay? It's generated more money.
Yep.
Bull riders are making more.
Yep.
You got, your owners and stuff. I went to one event down there in Austin. My son lives in Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
I had a week off.
Yep.
And my son, he's University of Texas, 5 years. He went to school there, and he's all Longhorn, and I'm all Sooner from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
we have a great relationship.
You get along.
Oh,
okay,
great!
Though?
Yeah, great. But so I had called him. I had a weekend off.
Yeah.
I had called him and said, "Well, hey, I'm coming down, and I'm going to spend weekend with you and Sarah."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, Dad, there ain't nothing going on here in Austin this week." I said, "There ain't nothing got to be going on." So I called a buddy of mine, Scott Fritz, who drives for Blake, hauls bulls for Blake Sharp. I said, "Hey, where you at this week?" "Well, we're down here in Austin." I said, "What the heck's going on in Austin?" "Team PBR." I called my son back. I said, "Hey, don't worry about it. I got something to do." So, but whenever I go to an event, I've been around, I've been around rodeo all my life, born and raised in it. I've been to Bruce Larkey's clinic.
Oh, you did, Benjamin.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, yeah.
Okay.
At the IFR one year.
Oh, you did?
Because I
Okay.
was putting on rodeos,
Okay.
and my cousins that work for Bruce, John and Dana Cravens,
Yeah.
and my Uncle Jay over, they encouraged me to go,
Good for you.
I learned some stuff from that. But whenever I go to an event, I look at it from a different standpoint. I want to see what kind of fans are there. I want to see, I check out all the stuff. And what I was impressed with was, that's the Austin Gamblers.
Yes.
They got a cool logo and colors on it. And seeing people wearing the team swag colors and all that, I mean, it's just like a whole different
And
deal.
they got Jose Vitor Lemmy.
Oh, shoot. You know, they ended up winning it that year, but they didn't do very good there that week.
Yeah.
But their coach, that's another story. I love telling rodeo stories. Michael Gaffney
Yes.
is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
But if you could go back to the Pendleton Roundup and looking at all the past winners, I mean, you'll see my picture in there. I never won Pendleton, but I know what it's like to win Pendleton. Yep. This was before the PBR. Me and Gaffney were in the finals that day. Both of us made the short go. And we're visiting. And, you know, you always talk about where you're going to be next and this. Well, I had my truck up there. And in 2 days, I was out at Albuquerque. And so we both, you know, we done discussed this early. And Gaffney's winning the bull riding. But they still got about 5 or 6 bulls left to go. But he's got a plane fixed to go catch an airplane chartered to go to the BRO, Bull Riders Only, in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
He looks at me, he's putting his stuff up, says, "Hey, Wes, if I win the bull ride and get my prize, my stuff," he gone. He is freaking gone. I ain't had a chance to say no. And there at Pendleton, whenever you win it, they bring the horse over to you and you ride over to the ride plumb across that deal and they make the presentation there, a bunch of queens and all that. So they come up. Michael Gaffney hollering at Michael Gaffney. Yeah. So I get on the horse.
Oh, gosh.
I get on the horse, I ride it across. See, a lot of people they make a little lap before but I just ride it across, and you know, get my picture with all the queens. I kissed a couple of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But anyway, then after all that, mounted back up. That's when I made a lap plumb around that thing, and I do it like this. Oh, they went crazy. Michael, he loves telling that story, but I stood in for it.
Okay.
And the next year went up there, had bull riding champion Michael Gaffney, but my picture.
So your picture. Oh, darn.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That is cool. That's a good story. I like
Yeah.
that story. Wow. Man, you've lived a life, dude.
Well,
and we got to talk about Leon Adams.
yep. See, Leon he's grew up in Stewart, which is not very far, 20 minutes maybe, 30 minutes at the max. But I mean, that's going through some curves and 2-lane highway. But him and my dad, they you know, they knew each other growing up and stuff and all that. And Leon, he was, man, the last, I guess, 8 years of Leon's life, I worked for him on his ranch up there, and I was going through a transition, another failed marriage, and you know, them deals can wipe you plumb out, and you know, I was just kind of lost. But like I've always said, Leon taught me how to live. But anyway, I was up there working, and Leon's got a beautiful place, and he would tell me, he'd say, you know, the Lord put this together for me. I mean, it's 3,000 acre ranch, beautiful. It's got some. And Leon, when I first got up there, he would take me to these high points, and we'd get out and talk and look, and you know, just. And he didn't really have much desire to even go to a rodeo anymore. He had put this ranch together with his rodeo career, and he would say, you know, the Lord would put it together for me because his daddy would call him and say, well, oh, so-and-so's got this much land they're trying to sell. See, a lot of people, I think it was 2009, Leon and Vicki Adams were inducted into Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. Maybe it's 2008. Leon could tell a story. And he was the top of the line specialty act for many years. he always said, "Yeah, I had that contract Axe year of the year cornered there for a while till that bandit come along." Talking about the one-armed
bandit. Yeah.
But Leon would, but you know, he was known as one of the best animal trainers ever, but he was probably better with people. And I was going through a tough time in life, and he took me on, and when he gave up on me is whenever it clicked. He told me, he said, "You're the toughest case I've ever had." But that was part of the, he figured out that reverse psychology was the best on me. Tell me that I can't do something, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Yeah. And it took him, but I was asked to be a pallbearer at his memorial service, but I had booked a roping in Decatur, Texas, and that was the first year I was going to do it, and I couldn't. They was counting on me to be there. It's a big, a lot of NFR people were there and stuff. It's just hard when you have memorials on the weekend for rodeo people. Yeah. Because But I got to spend time with him about a week before he passed away, and got to tell him I loved him and all that. But Leon, he instilled a lot of. He would never quote scripture to me, but he would. Later on in life, I'd be reading the Bible, and I said, "You know what, Leon? That's what he was telling me. You know, he instilled a lot in me, and he was telling me about my Uncle J.O. and Chuck Smith. You know, Chuck was a bareback rider, and I think him and J.O. were real instrumental in starting the IPRA. Yeah. And Leon says they come up here to my house, and they borrowed $1,000, or I give them $1,000, and they started the Rodeo News. And they give Leon and Vicki Adams full page ad in it for a year or 2 years, I don't know.
That'd have been early 60s.
Yeah.
$1,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah. Sure was. But that's how.
And that's something how everything's connected, man.
Yeah.
Everything.
And you know, Leon had rodeos there at his house, and he said that's the first time he ever met the Duvalls, Bill and Roy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, Leon was a good steer wrestler himself. He told me the story about being nothing flat one time. I said, "What?" He said, "Nothing flat." They didn't have a barrier, flagging, nothing flat. In a steer wrestler, he was a good steer wrestler, great animal trainer. You know, he roamed and rode the Bremer bulls, jumped them through fire and all that stuff. I said, was you ever out on the road and one of the bulls got sick or something? He goes, "Oh yeah." I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "I just come home and trained another one." I said, "How long did it take you to train one?" "About 3 days."
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah.
All three of them guys, my dad, Jack, Leon, I really, there's a lot I learned from them guys.
Yeah.
But Leon, I didn't know it, but he was down there, working with my dad whenever my dad met my mom. That would have been, I was born in 62, so that would have probably been 60 and a half or 60, I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But that's a long time ago.
Long time ago. And speaking of which, we get back then kind of where we started, which is I'm here at a bull riding, you're announcing.
Yeah.
Your dad's an announcer. He meets this woman who likes his voice, who is your mother.
Yeah.
When did you get into the announcing? Let's wrap up your bareback riding career, and what was that an instant?
Well,
I'm done bareback riding. I'm going to announcing.
Whenever I got, I rode barebacks for 24 years, and in the late 30s, mid 30s, I started thinking about, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you can't get on them no more? Just throw your hat in the closet and say you used to be a cowboy? I mean, that was what I was thinking. What do I do? So I started producing my own rodeos. And I've always said, southeastern Oklahoma, that area where I grew up in, if you look at the history of the rodeo cowboys and cowgirls from that whole area, there's been lots of talent. World champions. They know how to ride.
Yeah.
They know how to rope.
Yeah.
They know how to run.
Yeah.
But where they missed it, and it's hurt us, is they forgot about production. A lot of people, when I go to them rodeos like the Longhorns, World's Toughest, you start seeing production, like the PBR. I mean, their openings, it's all about production. All right. But a lot of people would, if they got a gooseneck trailer, a few bulls at buck, they start putting on rodeos. All they want to do is buck.
Yeah.
They want to buck, they want to ride, they
Yeah.
want to rope, they want to race. But
Yeah.
they forgot production, and it's killed a lot of the rodeos.
Okay.
I mean, it's turned them into, they have so dang many of them that it's,
Yeah.
And I told my brothers, of course, I'm not running Ward Rodeo. Don't worry about your competition. Just try to outdo them with production.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that was Bruce's thing, right? East of the
man.
Mississippi, it's competition. I'm sorry, west of the Mississippi, it's competition. East of the Mississippi, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
You got to entertain these folks.
You bet.
Yeah.
But
And that's production.
whenever
right?
I was putting on, so I started to answer your question, I started putting on my own rodeos.
Okay.
And I did for about 12 years.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
the big storm hit called divorce.
Ah.
I lost my headquarters.
Okay.
So I had to start, I had cattle and all that. Well, I ain't got nothing anymore. Where's my brand? Because I don't got no land. But the Lord opened a new avenue, So then I started announcing rodeos. And it's kind of funny that we're sitting here recording this. A good friend of mine, that's how I got started, that used to announce my rodeos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was good.
Yeah.
His name was Dusty Broughton. He was real good.
Yeah.
And he was coming along the same time as Clint Atkins was. Clint Atkins is the main guy of the PBR.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Clint.
Yeah.
I think Clint's a good announcer. But my first choice would have been Dusty.
Okay. Okay.
I thought he was that good, and what I wanted was the best. Well, Dusty's problem was he was so good that he wasn't. Well, he admitted it last night. His problem was booking it right. So sometimes he was so in such a demand that he should have wrote stuff down a little better, and he'd only be double booked in places.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's how I got started, because the sound system was already going to be there
I see.
at Sherman, Denison, Texas.
I see.
The sound guy asked me who was announcing. I said, well, Dusty is. Well, he said, no, he told me he's going to Seymour. So he was double booked, and I stepped in.
Yeah.
But I was doing something a little different anyway. It wasn't, I would ride out there horseback and open my rodeos up a horseback,
Sure.
kind of get everybody into it, then introduce him and let him take over, and I ride out of the arena, and then the rodeo started.
So you were already in front of people. You understood this aspect.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's what I wanted to do, was incorporate a Wild West show into the rodeo, but make it production.
Right.
And a lot of people made fun of me and the things that I would do but right now I was a little bit ahead of my time for this area.
Yeah.
But I learned it all from Larky.
Okay.
From Bruce.
Bruce. Yeah.
And there's a few things that I picked up on it from Bruce that if you jump out there and you want to put an event together, you better know what you're doing, because you could get in over your head quick.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's things that I remember Bruce said, stay away from God's Day, which we're here on a Sunday
Yeah.
at
yeah,
a church,
yeah,
but it was,
Yeah.
but stay away from God's Day and holidays as
God's
far as trying
Day
to
and
put
holidays.
events together.
Okay.
And then you need to, you need to do research and find out what other rodeos are going on, to where in an area where, you don't want to be battling for contestants. and
You
stuff.
bet. You bet.
You know,
You bet.
I used to put on McKinney Rodeo. I did it for 12 years or so. And it was a big benefit for the Collin County Youth Heritage Foundation. And I do one at Van Alstyne. And I did one here at South Fork, which ain't very far. But back then I was making good money with my welding business. And it's a little different ballgame now. I mean, I know how to do it. And I mean, all selling is knowing your product and asking.
Right.
But I can use these to do pretty good
Yeah.
if I get in somewhere. But I had to move. I mean, my routine back then would be go line my fence guys out in the morning,
Yeah.
come home, change clothes, go see sponsors.
I see. I see.
And but nowadays it would probably be a little bit harder, getting in.
Yeah.
But I go knock on the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did hung all the posters and stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta.
So have you been busy announcing? You got a
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good book?
Yeah. Well, this was a lighter year than I've had during the summer. But like I start in next month. Been doing a winter series in Lubbock.
Oh, okay.
This will be the third year.
Yeah.
They've already had one event, but it was actually a few weeks ago.
Nice.
I was with one of ours already booked. So, I have a couple events in January, February,
Yeah.
and then usually 2 or 3 events in March. And,
Then it gets busy.
well, April, and,
Yeah.
with Chute 2, we're busy in April and May, but June and July is what I call June, July, August, September, prime time rodeo months.
Yeah.
Well, my problem was, for 3 years in a row, I went up north.
Yeah.
And Leon Adams told me that. He said, son, you need to consider a duck. I said, what? He did his fingers like this. He said, a duck.
Yeah.
He's got a little bitty head about like that.
Yeah.
But even he's got enough sense to go north when it gets hot, south when it gets cold.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I went through colon cancer in 2015 battle, and I like the temperatures up there.
Yeah.
And I went up there 3 years in a row, and when you're gone from an area, they forget about you pretty quick.
They do. They do.
So now I'm back. and
Okay.
Working rodeos here.
Okay. Okay.
So it's always a process of rebuilding. And I'm telling you, if you ever give a rodeo up that's an old established rodeo, they don't come back.
Right,
'Cause once they get somebody else.
Oh yeah.
And they're
Oh, yeah.
happy.
They
They
stick
hang
with
on to
them.
them.
They do. They do.
And, 1 year there, I had 2 rodeos, jumped on an old established rodeo here in Texas that I had. One of those rodeos that changed the date was the PRCA rodeo. I give up that old established amateur rodeo for the PRCA rodeo, and then it changed in a year or 2.
Yeah.
So I don't have none of those rodeos anymore. 3 of them I lost
Okay.
because they all
Okay.
changed dates and all that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's like Mena, Arkansas. I've been going there since Doug Williams retired, and I stick with them, and they stick with me. But,
Well, dude, we have covered a lot of ground. We have covered a lot of ground.
I get paid to talk.
And
now.
I know there's more to cover. I know there is.
Yeah, I get more. I get paid to talk. As a rodeo announcer, but I didn't. I've always, like I was hiring my announcer. He done things like I wanted it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to let everybody be themselves, but I don't know. We don't all dance with the same girl at the dance.
Right. No,
it's different. Different. Everybody's got a things they like and dislike or whatever.
Absolutely.
You know.
So Hollywood comes calling. You're already famous, right? They already know Wild Wes Ward. They already know that. And you're still wearing the belt, so that'll remind people too. Hollywood comes calling and they say, we're going to do a movie about your life.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So 2 questions.
Yeah.
Number 1, what are they going to call it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Donnie Gay, I kind of stuck it on myself, Wild West Ward, but Donnie Gay, he's the one that made it stick by commentating Mesquite Rodeo. And that name caused me a lot of trouble because all of a sudden I feel like I got to live up to who I am.
I see.
You know,
I see.
and I've always been a person that a lot of people they'll stick their toe in the water. Heck, I'm gonna jump in, or and it don't always work out. But you see this spot right here,
Yeah.
that bald spot on my head.
Yeah.
I call it my God spot. It's where I've been in situations and God reached down and grabbed me by the hair of the head and pulled me out. I don't know. It would probably be pretty fun and pretty interesting, but
All right. And so maybe we call it God's spot. How about that?
Hey, there you go.
And who plays you?
I don't know. I'll tell you a funny story since you're saying that. Whenever I first started going to Longhorn rodeos, I'm with Jack. Ricky Huddleston, he's in there. Louisville, Kentucky, or somewhere like that. I'm running my hand in the rigging, and Jerry Bellis, he says, this is Tattoo Ward from Fantasy Island, Oklahoma. And I looked at Ricky and I said, you son of a... Ricky done that. He went to Bellis and done it. And I go over there after the rodeo and I'm wanting to talk to Bellis. I'm not mad, but what I want to do is I want to get Ricky. But Bellis thinks I'm mad and he's looking at me and he's kind of ducking me and dodging me, you know. I thought he first thought I was going to jump on him or something. But Ricky was out the next night in the steer. I said, tomorrow night, his name is Howdy Doody Huddleston. Howdy Doody. He did it. And I didn't know it. Ricky didn't know it, that I would become a rodeo announcer later on and we'd work together a lot. And I introduced him as Howdy Doody Huddleston every time. So they used to call me, you know, the Fantasy Island, the little guy, whatever his name was.
Tattoo.
You know, they'd make fun of. I mean, I've learned to. I've had a lot of jokes that I've had to deal with. Everybody wants to. So you know, it's part of making me tougher too. I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you have to learn like Mike Fletcher told me one time. You got to get like a duck and let a lot of that stuff roll off of you. You know.
Yeah.
You know, water on the duck, it don't stay.
Yeah, that's
it don't
right.
stay.
That's right.
So.
Well, this has been a blast, my friend.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been good.
And
been good.
Thanks for coming to the BTC bus here, and thanks for inviting me down to this rodeo.
Yeah.
My goodness, this bull riding.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. You know, the thing about our Chute events,
Yeah.
Kelly's, you know, I mean, at one time he was the president of the IPRA for a while.
Sure.
He's a very sharp dude.
Yeah.
He's a people's person.
Yeah.
He's very good with people.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's very, you know, Bible-based and Christian. It's just a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
And if he ever gets tired of rodeoing, politics.
Okay.
I think it'd make a great politic because he's just so good with people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I've been with him ever since it started.
Yeah.
And it's grown and grown and grown.
Well, tomorrow the wheels are going to be turning, and we're headed west.
You're going to go to Kelly's.
Going to Kelly's
at his place called the Buckhorn.
Yes, sir.
Now let me tell you.
Yeah.
You're going to walk into him, like a museum.
Yep, I've
It's
heard
not,
that.
It's
Yep.
it's a he built it just to have parties. You know, we have a Chute 2 party there, Christmas party, and then we'll have, the IPRA has a reunion.
That's right. That's right. In July. Yep.
And
Yep.
he has got that fixed up. It's all rodeo memorabilia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
he really should charge admission,
Yeah.
because I mean it's a very nice
Well,
atmosphere.
we're planning on the day there, and we're going to sit with Kelly and do what we did here. I know there's a
Well,
bunch
you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
And one thing about Kelly Clark is his wife Charlene is probably the best thing about Kelly.
Okay. Yeah.
She's a good woman.
Good woman. Okay.
Yeah. The Clarks are, they're friends of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have a lot of roots in the IPRA.
Yeah.
And so Kelly knows how he wants to do his events.
You bet.
And he made a statement one time that it's hard for professional mentality to work with amateur mentality,
Sure.
or vice versa.
Sure.
So, Sam's here, Sam Howery, he's been doing this a long time. We got a veteran crew.
You do. You do.
The other announcer, Jack Colton, has won the IFR showcase 2 times.
Okay.
He's got a really good voice.
You bet. You bet.
And we've been bringing him along.
Nice.
Just kind of, he's getting a lot of good experience.
You bet.
But just, it's like playing football. You can sit on the sideline, but you're not going to be what you're going to be till you actually get in the game.
I like that.
So Kelly's got a good thing going here.
Yeah.
And, he uses the Bull Riding Association for his bull ridings. He says, I don't put on bull ridings for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I use them for my bull ridings.
For certain. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like what your dad.
Yep.
His
Yep.
independence, right?
Yep.
His independence.
Yeah, exactly.
Final words?
Well, I've just been blessed, and all I wanted to be all my life is a cowboy. I'm not going to go on no saddle horse and go rope nothing and tie it down myself. I don't even want to be around them right now. I'm having hip surgery Tuesday. But, I just want to just been blessed to be able to be where I've been. And like I said earlier, how do you measure wealth or whatever? A lot of people do it by how much you got. But, man, I'm wealthy.
Yeah.
I've been a lot of places, done a lot of things, met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And still living and breathing, and praise the Lord. I thank Him for every day.
Beautiful.
And there's a lot of different ways in life, but there's only one way, Jesus Christ. And I'll close out with that.
I love it. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Doug, I've enjoyed it myself, and you're going to be in for another treat tomorrow.
Okay.
I understand you've been down in Texas here, calling it the Texas Swing interview.
Texas Swing. Yep.
Yeah. But shoot, we're blessed to have you down here.
We're going to do more.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rodeo teaches us more than how to ride. It teaches us how to live. Wes Ward's story reminds us that winning isn't always measured in buckles or checks, but in who you learn from, who helped you along the way, who you helped, and what you did when the road shifted under your feet. You've been listening to Beyond the Chutes as presented by Parasite System, helping vets help pets. Before we wrap up, we've got something for all you rodeo road warriors out there. A good friend of ours, Mr. Stan Cromlish, has just a thing to make those long hauls a little smoother.
Hey, Rodeo Road Warriors! Stan Cromlish here from the Wandering Gypsy RV Life Podcast. Ever had a trip go sideways, faster than a bronc out of the chute? Grab my book, Rolling Smooth, How to Enjoy the RV Life Without Losing Your Cool. Packed with real RV stories, hard-won lessons, and a few laughs. at my expense. Listen on Audible. Snag a copy at WanderingGypsyRVLife.com and catch the Wandering Gypsy RV Life podcast for more wild tales from the road. Don't just ride, roll smooth.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Simcox & Company. 4 barbers, 4 generations strong, Deb, Tom, Eli, and Troy keep the tradition alive. No appointment needed, just walk in, share some good conversation, and leave looking sharp. It's also brought to you by Nikki McLeod, whose albums Prepaid and Some Kind of Reckless are available now wherever you find your music. And I've been reading Steve Gander's new book, World's Toughest Rodeo, where an Iowa farm boy takes his Midwestern life lessons to rodeo. It's a fast-moving, page-turning ride through the grit and glory of the arena. It's out now on Amazon. And don't forget Liesl Harris's This Ain't My First Rodeo, available now on Amazon. The story of the legend told the way only Liesl could tell it. This has been a BTC production. Until next time, thank you for listening.